LaFleur said earlier this week that barring him changing his mind, Love will play, and that's especially notable because even though Love has started the preseason opener in each of the 3 seasons that he's been the starter, a year ago is when he tore the ligament in his non-throwing thumb, caused him to have surgery and miss a little bit of time, but he is planning to play tonight. Won't look like he does in the regular season, but he will be out on the field.
Thanks to Brooke. Jordan Love's going to be out there leading the offense, as you just heard Brooke saying, but Micah Parsons won't be out there to anchor the defense. How will the Packers navigate starting the season without him, you think?
Yeah, I think the story of the first month and change of the Packers season is, can this defense survive? And, some of that will be young players like a Baron Sorrell. What does he do in the preseason? Can he step up? But for me, I really think it comes down to Jonathan Gannon. This is the greatest test of his career. He can't lean on that 4-man rush the way he did in Philadelphia. He has to find ways to generate pressure in unconventional fashion, whether that's Edgerrin Cooper, who's a fantastic blitzer as a linebacker, or bringing the nickel, Javon Bullard. He is going to have to really go deep into his bag of tricks while Parsons is gone, because without Micah, this is not a very strong pass rush in Green Bay.
Yeah, the Packers allowed 3 times as many pass touchdowns per interception when Parsons was off the field last year. His impact, no doubt, is significant. We got even more football tonight, baby. Let's get to it. Lions versus Bengals at 7 Eastern on NFL Plus. Here's what's cool. The Bengals are expected to have Joe Burrow and star receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins playing. Now, who knows how long they're going to play, but they're going to be out there. Jamar Chase said a few days ago Burrow's been a little less forgiving in his leadership style during camp. They're actually calling him Mean Joe, and Jamar loves it. So, Phil, do you like the decision by the Bengals to play a good number of their starters?
We call him Mean
Dan.
Dan. We're not on TV. People don't
He's always
that,
Mean Dan, though.
Right now, that's true.
I'm the nicest person you guys know.
Okay, that could be true.
You are the nicest
no,
person.
No, you're my guy, Dan. We love you.
That was way too nice. I can't stand either one of you. I'm just kidding.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time ever saying a bad thing about Dan because I love him so much.
Go ahead, Field.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals are doing something, and this is not new. They played last year in the preseason as well. That was a change from where they had been in prior years. What I would say about this, though, is the fact that they're doing it again only further underscores it. I think this organization, they wouldn't say it out loud, they know this is a pressure year.
Yeah.
Think about some of the things that have been different, un-Bengal-like this year, right? The team restructured the contract of Joe Burrow to create money to go out and acquire other players. They dipped heavily into free agency. Boye Mafe and Brian Cook, all kinds of additions on both sides of the ball, but mostly defense. They traded the 10th overall pick for Dexter Lawrence, who's coming off of a down season. Now, they think he has been amazing in training camp and is going to be the same player that we saw in 2023 and 2024. I think Cincinnati, even if they haven't told us out loud, has acknowledged they know 2026 matters gigantically. Like this team that Joe Burrow once said had a window that was as long as his career, understands that in the NFL that may not be the case. Even if your quarterback is one of the 5 best players at his position, you got to continue to replenish the resources around him to have a chance to make a real mark in this conference.
There's one team in the NFL that has more at stake than Cincinnati, and that's the Rams. Cincinnati's all in.
Yeah.
And the future of the team and the organization is at stake this year.
No
we
doubt.
can say that, right?
I think so, yeah.
It feels that way.
Absolutely. What's at stake for the quarterback? What's at stake for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and that Hall of Fame duo? What's at stake for their head coach, Zach Taylor?
Yeah.
If they don't get – great quarterbacks don't go 4 years in this league without going to the playoffs.
Right.
And everything remains the same. I'll be interested to see, because this offense has had so much success doing it this shotgunny catch and throw way.
Yep.
But if you go back to that Super Bowl year, it wasn't this drastic change, almost like the Rams last year, but Joe Burrow, way more under center. If you paid attention to the show for 2 years, you know we've been about that for 2 seasons. Middle of the pack. Threw the ball to the tight ends because of that, way more. Ever since then, look at that bottom line. He has been in the gun just about as much as anybody.
Wow.
And I think that not only does that affect, obviously, the ability to be diverse on offense, to be complete on offense, it does affect his ability to stay healthy. It does, because he's being exposed so much. It affects their offensive line to be good enough. And so I'm not saying that they have to go complete 180. And I think they started to a little bit last year, implement some of the stuff that we've talked about. But I think it's got to become a little bit more of a calling card of their from an offensive scheme standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, you'll remember this. Burrow was the only quarterback to complete 70% of his passes in 2021. I mean, that's how dialed in he was.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
And he does love to play spread out. He loved it at LSU. He's loved it in the NFL because he can see, and obviously the matchups they have on the perimeter. But I don't know if that's the best thing. The best thing for winning and playing good, complementary, complete offense right now in Cincinnati.
And staying upright, right? The LSU offensive line, it was 5 guys that went to the NFL, and then the wide receivers were just basically the NFL All-Pro team. Right? I mean, that's just Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
That's a good point.
So I think they've got to deviate a little bit.
By the way, it looked like I was picking up these papers to like smack you or something. I was really just looking for the trash can because I'm junking up the whole.
We have one?
No, I can throw my own trash away.
Of course,
but I just wanted
Laura,
to clear it up.
Of course, I've got you.
Yeah, throw my trash away, Dan. All right, coming up.
We're here in Los Angeles at the Rams facility. Here today with AD99 Foundation, working with these young kids. I'm supporting to be here because, obviously me, being who I was as a football player, to be able to give these kids some knowledge that I got, that I learned, and pour this into the kids, to the next generation, to the youth. I think that's everything, right? Because kids just see the end goal. They don't see what goes in behind closed door, the body of work you put in, the sacrifices you make. So instilling that to these kids early, letting them know about that, I think that's important.
As an ambassador for ESPN's Take Back Sports initiative, Aaron Donald and Andrew Whitworth hosted a free O-line and D-line camp for kids in Los Angeles. Awesome. So cool to see. Aaron Donald committed to empowering youth, fostering growth, opportunity, and success. He believes in teaching them skills through athletics that kids can use throughout their lives. This makes a huge, awesome difference. I love to see it. All right, how about this? We got real football tonight. It's preseason, but it's real. Packers at Steelers. Matt LaFleur arriving just moments ago. Dan, why are you giving me that face? Whatever. He's arriving. He's ready to coach a preseason game. And there's Aaron Rodgers arriving. We aren't sure if we're going to see him suit up tonight. Here's what he had to say about playing. See the smile there? Looks like he might be ready for something. Here's what he said.
Oh, it's preseason. It's not real football. So if I do, great. If not, great. I think those are a waste of a day, and I think preseason football is good to see guys with the pads on, under the lights, how they react to the nerves, but it's not real regular season football.
So there's no advantage for you?
I don't think so.
Oh, wait, I stand corrected because I obviously do not know as much as Aaron Rodgers knows. So if he says it's not real football, it must not be real football. We're now joined by Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor. The timing on that was impeccable. Brooke, fill us in on everything we need to know tonight.
Thanks, Laura. If we see Aaron Rodgers tonight, and that is a big if, it would only be for 1 to 2 series. Coach Mike McCarthy said that he plans to play his quarterbacks in 3 groups. The starter going 1 to 2 series. The next group will finish out the first half, and the last group will play the entire second half. McCarthy, though, said that Aaron Rodgers really wants to play in the preseason. But when we talked to Aaron Rodgers later that day, he said that he doesn't really see the benefit to playing in the preseason, and that if he plays, great. If he doesn't, great. So a little bit of a mystery still in Pittsburgh about whether or not Rodgers will be on the field. One interesting thing to note, though, when Rodgers last played with Mike McCarthy in the preseason, he was in Green Bay, and they played the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers played 1 series and threw a touchdown pass in that one. Now, what is not a mystery is that Jordan Love will start